Have you ever had to have a medical procedure done at a hospital? If you have, were you able to find out how much that procedure cost beforehand? It is likely that the answer is no. Hospitals tend to be secretive about how they price procedures, and whether a patient has insurance or not only complicates the issue. Let's take a look at how this can affect consumers.
Pete just fell off a ladder. He's called his brother Harry to take him to the doctor. The doctor is saying that he will need knee surgery in the near future. Pete wants to know which hospital he should go to for his knee surgery. Hospital A is right around the corner, and Hospital B is 3 miles away. Pete calls both hospitals and talks to Nurse Nancy at Hospital A and Nurse Nick at Hospital B. They both say they cannot disclose the full price of the surgery. Pete decides to have the surgery at Hospital A since it is closer. After a couple weeks, Pete received an outrageous hospital bill that he could not afford. Pete, now swamped with medical bills, wonders if other care facilities would have been cheaper. He tries to do research, but can find no answers to his questions. He calls nurses Nancy and Nick, and they have no more information for him. He tries to find other resources, but is frustrated that hospitals are not transparent with their prices. Hospitals across the nation have a list of prices on what is known as their charge master. This list contains all the information on prices for different treatments that the hospital offers. However, this list is concealed and not often easily accessed by the public. Another component to Pete's problem is his insurance. The price of his medical bill is determined on what kind of insurance he has. Is he insured? Is he uninsured? Or is he underinsured? If Pete is uninsured, it means he'll have to pay for everything out of his own pocket and ultimately pay the most. If Pete is underinsured, it means that his insurance provider will pay for some of the cost of the procedure, but not as much as if he was insured. If Pete is insured, his provider will pay for more of the treatment than if he were underinsured. This way, Pete will wind up paying the least amount out of pocket. Insurance matters greatly because it motivates people to live healthier lifestyles and practice in preventative care such as vaccinations.
In just the state of Minnesota alone, a simple MRI scan can range from $729 to as much as $2,969. Across state lines, joint replacements are billed as $5,300 on a charge master in a hospital in Oklahoma. However, in California, someone in need of a joint replacement can wind up being billed for $223,000 for the exact same procedure. Even in the same city, patients suffering from heart failure can wind up paying somewhere between $9,000 and $51,000, depending on what hospital they go to. Very few consumers wind up paying the full price as is written on the charge master, but it's important that consumers are aware of the prices beforehand. Let's go back to the beginning and look at how Pete's life would have been different if he had been able to find the prices for knee surgeries at different hospitals. If Hospital A and Hospital B had been transparent, Nurse Nancy would have told Pete outright the knee surgery at Hospital A would have cost $15,000, and Nurse Nick would have told Pete that knee surgery at Hospital B would have cost $6,000. Knowing this information, Pete would have chosen Hospital B and would not be in debt. After the surgery would be completed, either hospital would bill his insurance, and they would cover some or most of it. Since Pete would be financially responsible for the rest, he needs to know what hospitals have the most affordable pricing for him. In order to prevent Pete's story from happening to others, hospital prices need to be more transparent. Hospitals need to have transparent prices to prevent consumers from being blindsided about the true costs behind hospital procedures. If a patient winds up with a large bill that they're unable to afford, they may find themselves facing financial hardship. They'll need to work extra hours to pay off high bills, and the extra stress can worsen their health outcomes. This phenomenon correlates to an economic theory known as the allostatic load hypothesis, which places stress as the main cause between socioeconomic status and health. In Pete's scenario, the extra stress that he'll acquire over a prolonged period of times in efforts to pay off his bills may leave him worse off than if he never received knee surgery in the first place. The U.S. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services have been fighting to mandate that hospitals post their charge masters online. This would allow consumers to price shop and ultimately find the most affordable care for themselves. Some hospitals have already begun implementing more clear and efficient price transparency. In the Lehigh Valley, St. Luke's University Health Network has formed a price checker system on their website. Their website allows patients to choose between two options, the first being the price lock price, wherein all expenses are bundled in the cost before the procedure or test occurs. The second option is post-insurance price, which allows consumers to input their insurance information and locate the procedure, test, or treatment in question to determine what the price would be. While this is a step in the right direction, all hospitals across the nation need to institute online price checkers so that consumers can make more informed decisions about their health.